Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat on the way in. Oh boy, y'all ain't playing. Y'all heard this. Look, that's why I gave. I know it was a long stream. Y'all, most of y'all probably listened to more of it than I did, because things happening at work and whatnot. So I'm just about halfway in. So we might have to do a part two to this. But ooh, this is some nasty work. Shout out to Accountable Commentary. But did Mr. Z call it or did he call it? Hey, black women, ain't no escaping black men. You could try the swirler thing, gonna fail. Swirler divester thing. You could try the same sex loving thing. Clearly, exhibit A, gonna fail. Dear B. Taylor, where you thought you were going? Two kids from, I think, two different dudes? So that's gonna X you out from pretty much all white men worth a damn. All Latino men worth a damn. There's a couple of brothers, unfortunately, that will sign on to that. Right? Black men are essentially, especially now, excuse me, two kids from two different dudes. I know she has two kids, right? Is it from two different men? If I'm not mistaken. So you're pretty much regulated to same-sex loving black women. Let's be honest, them Latinas and white women that are on the same-sex loving train, they're even more racist than the men, than white men and Latino men. So you're pretty much regulated now to black men and black women. Oh, right. And so let me read this now before I can't read it anymore. And I am Waffle says, and thank you for the super chat. Christmas came early with this one, and thank you for super chat. Thank you for the super chat because it's not showing in my in the different area where we could see the super chat. So that's why I wanted to read it now before it doesn't show anymore. And once again, thank you, I am Waffles. Thank you, I am Waffles. And let's send this one too because this came in early and it may not show. And Ben says, I've been wondering when you were gonna cover it. And once again, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. Right. And thank both of y'all. Thank both of y'all. Right. And as a matter of fact, let me leave this one highlighted for a little while and then I'll get back to Ben's. Yeah, no. I'm trying to get all the thoughts out before I lose them. That's funny. Okay. So number 2. What B. Taylor exposed about her and Princella doing things to get back at the black manosphere. Right? Doing things to get back at the black manosphere. To trigger the black manosphere. Most of us didn't even know what was going on with y'all. Oops. We could care less. Oops. Right? Huh. Doing things to get back at the black manosphere. Number 1. Number 2, B. Taylor spoke of one of the guys that worked with Princella. I forgot the name. That Princella pretty much crushed, and how that kind of frightened B. Taylor. B. Taylor spoke about Princella's attitude, her barking on her, right? So that's Princella barking on B. Taylor. How much of a hypocrite Princella is. All of it, right? I told y'all they form a close ranks. They are close in rank. They form this very close knit. That's the word I was looking for. Close knit, quote unquote, community until they feel slighted. This is when the truth comes out. Let me remember to say this. In the beginning, yes, Yanni was there. And Yanni said, this is not about race. This is not about gender. Wait a minute. I'm about protecting black women too. Wait a minute. I know. Yanni's not saying this is not about race and gender. When you went at Dr. Umar Johnson and the brothers during the civil rights movement and said y'all signed on to white women's Faustian bargain with feminism, you said that essentially it's because black men weren't doing what they were supposed to do. Ma'am, that's race and gender. Yikes. Ma'am, The reason why black women find themselves in this position is because of race and gender. Your own words said y'all stabbed back black men in the back and signed on to white women. You know, the same women that used your numbers to advance themselves and then turn around and married white men anyway. Yikes. Exactly, Demetrius. Demetrius says, I know Yanni ain't say that. Yes, she did. Yes, she did. Right? Um, and once again, thank you for the super chat. I am Waffles. Let's highlight Ben's. And once again, Ben said, I've been wondering when you were going to cover this. I want to get and focus on this one thing. This is going to probably take up the most time. What is frightening? I'm holding back tears about to say this. When B. Taylor said to Princella, you know, what about if ish hits the fan? What are all these women? They believe in you. They follow you. Oh, before we even get to that, Princella pretty much admitted to B. Taylor that she did all of this for money. She lost her job and she wrote the book for money. Oh well, Z, didn't you say this? And didn't Chrissy feel a certain way when you said these women do this for money? Uh-oh. Huh? Thank you, Demetrius. Yeah, no, yeah, no, white ladies, aka the whole reason womanism was created. Exactly, exactly. And Demetrius, I'm gonna have to have you up one day so we could talk about the difference between feminism and womanism and why they created womanism. Princella admitted to B. Taylor she did all of this for money. I said it. Shout out to the brother Obsidian. What he said, we say what we say, we wait for the facts to catch up. Huh? I said it. And look at when the truth come out. Look, I gotta say, I said it with this too. Whenever they're beefing, this is when the truth comes out. This is when the truth comes out. I'm gonna get to the whole sexuality thing in a minute. Now, to the thing that I was about to drop a tear for. When B. Taylor speaks to Princella and essentially says, you know, a lot of women believe in you and believe in your message. What happens if anything, if ish if ever hits the fan? If B. Taylor is to be believed, Princella says, I'm not going to be here. I will take me and my daughter out. The silence is on purpose. We need to let that one go. Let's let that sizzle for a second. Let me say it again. I'm gonna be silent for again. When B. Taylor speaks to Princella and essentially says, women read your book, there's women that really believe what you're saying. What happens if ish ever hits the fan? She says, B. Taylor says that Princella says to her, oh, I'll be out. I will take me and my daughter out. I told you, I knew it. These women are mad about their lack of situation with men, black men. They're angry at the world and they're going to take as many women down with them as humanly possible. I told y'all they will walk y'all off of the edge of the cliff. Dear black women, I told y'all they're bitter, angry, resentful women. Princella B. Taylor's just exposing Princella. All of them are like this. Emphasis on the word all. Add a couple of exclamation points behind that. All of them are like this. From Bowser to Yanni to Chrissy to Paris, all of them. maybe not Paris. Paris is really on some evil stuff because she really doing it for the money too. One day, one of her subscribers will expose her more than just the hidden marriage. Huh? And Demetrius says, and the fact that B. Taylor went with Princella knowing she has a son, B. Taylor says that Princella wanted her to think of her son negatively, right? And once again, Ben, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat, right? B. Taylor says that Princella wanted her to think. This is why we call it the gynocracy. That's why we do not call it a matriarchy in the black community. Shout out once again to BGS. That's why we call it a gynocracy and not a matriarchy. Because Princella wanted, and this is B. Taylor's words, Princella essentially wanted B. Taylor to look at her son as the enemy and raise him as such. And I'm also says, I did not hear that part. I'm not surprised or the bit shocked. Paris calls us nakers. Sinji says delete blackmail babies. I said before they're evil, and I mean truly evil. Shout out to the Roger Report. He said it. I agree. So black women are taking other black women who feel hurt and walking them off the edge of the cliff. The edge of the cliff into a lifetime of antidepressants, the edge of the cliff into same-sex loving relationships, the edge of the cliff of being the human jack-off machine for a non-black man, the edge of the cliff of being perpetually single, as I said to Dr. Thunder, shout out to Dr. Thunder, politically single. Huh? You even got PhDs talking about this now? I said it. These women are angry at black men. They are perfectly okay with being white racist society's tool against black men. And they said, I'm going to destroy the black community. Cynthia G literally said it. Now Princella pretty much literally said it. Princella over here sounded like Thanos, according to B. Taylor. B. Taylor literally said the name Thanos. That half of this need to be gone. But Princella already said it. Most men shouldn't be. Essentially, Princella already had said most men shouldn't be procreating. We should only use sex between men and women for procreation. Wipe them out. What y'all thought, black women? Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think most black women are on this. If you go through the comments, most black women, they're, I don't know how many of them are really shocked, but yeah. I don't think most black women are on this. I think y'all can be convinced though. I told y'all they take advantage of your little bitterness and your sorrow and your anger and your jealousy of white women, and they walk you right off the edge of that goddamn cliff. I said it. So let's get into the sexuality part. Before we get into that, what did Mr. Z say? Y'all get angry at black men, y'all swear off black men. Shout out to Compassion and Callous for the clip that he made of me saying this forever ago. Y'all got angry at black men, you little spoiled brats. I'm gonna repeat it. Then you try to do the white man thing, the Latino man thing, any Asian that'll mess with y'all. That doesn't work. You little spoiled brats. And there's only one place to go after that because the white and Latina women ain't checking. They're even more racist than the men. And you end up being a munch. Huh. I said it. What's that drop that Lapeef used to use from B. Taylor? And I'm going to address this in International Rodent says, But Z, black men are gone. See the NFL. Exact. Look, black women are perfectly okay. Y'all encourage the Princellas. Y'all encourage the Princellas. Y'all encourage the Bowsers. You encourage Yanni. You encourage Paris. You encourage Themis. You encourage B. Taylor. You encourage Yanni, Chrissy, Cynthia G, Crystal and Karazin, Shira 7. Y'all pay them good money. You watch their videos. And when they get mad at each other, this is what they start saying about each other. And it's true. So, of course, young black men are going to end up with white girls and white women and Latinas and Asian girls and women. Of course, black men and black boys are going to end up with them because this is the black community. Huh? This is the black community. Instead of getting Princella the hell up out of here, her wannabe Thanos ass. Huh? Instead of y'all getting Shira 7 the hell up out of here, y'all don't see that. I told y'all these women are broken. Black women. These women are broken. And they're going to take you down with them if you let them. And y'all are definitely willing to let them. Huh? Y'all are definitely willing to let them. Huh? So let me say this again. I watched a bit of Yanni on her own channel speaking about this, and she kept on ascribing um Princella's behavior to pretty much imitating black men. No, you gotta hold that. Y'all gotta hold your own vagina over there. Black women's bad behavior is not black men's fault. Y'all act that way because you want to. And Saint Cyr is broken, bitter, and angry. 100% correct. Right? 100% correct. Oh crap! Where did the super chat go? I was trying to get it before I couldn't read it. Let me hurry up and read this. And Mr. Shook to you says, because some of this is not showing in the. For those of us that stream, we know there's a separate thing that they show for the super chats, and it's not showing all of them. So I'm trying to make sure that I read this before it doesn't show it. And Mr. Shook to you says Black Uru requested a panel on this Z. Okay, okay, right. I don't know if I could do it tonight, but we'll definitely have a panel about this also because it's frightening, and the reason why. Let me put in context why it's frightening. And Mr. Z almost dropped a tear speaking about Princella and what she said she will do to herself and her daughter. Mr. Z actually gives a damn about black people, black women included, and to hear a woman be so angry and resentful at black men. And I called it when she did that interview on the breakdown of women's perspective. Y'all saw when she got emotional, when they kept on pressing her about her relationship or lack thereof, and her view of men, black men in particular. And y'all heard her snap and go off. She forget snap, explode and go off. Black women, y'all followed that woman. Mr. Z actually gives a damn about black people. And when I watch black women who are going through whatever little situation they're going through with a boyfriend, with an ex-husband, with a baby daddy, and y'all start listening to Chrissy, and you start listening to Crystal and Karazin, and you start listening to Shira 7, and start listening to Cynthia G, and start listening to Themis, and start listening to B. Taylor and Yanni in Paris, and Lexus Exodus, and Alejo, and name them, and Bowser. Samantha Cooker, Deborah Cooper, name them. Divested zealot, divested witch, hashtag black woman. Oh my God, we could go on forever. And this is what they really on. And y'all, and they're all about, hey, I won't tell your secret if you won't tell my secret until they start beefing. Nina Blob, that's another one. Right? Until they start arguing and beefing, and then they start telling the truth. Huh? Then they start telling the truth about what the other one is really on, why the other one is doing what they're doing. Huh. This lady said she's willing to take out herself and her own child. And no, Mr. Z did not miss how B. Taylor said Princella treats her own daughter. Crystal Swirl's another one. Miss wait, no. Miss Archduchess, nah, Archduchess, can you get it out, Z? Is another one. Taz is another one. Y'all want to know why y'all meeting these girls in high school when we're underage, obviously? Where y'all meeting these young women at 19 and 20 and 21 and they all messed up in the head. And they may not even had that many sexual experiences. They're all messed up in the head because this is their mom. Yeah, Sunsaray, Cerebral, that hashtag Matrix lady, whatever the hell her name is. This is their mom. Now, some of these women take better care of their children. Exhibit A, B. Taylor. But yet their mom, B. Taylor, you may not be as abrasive as Princella, but think about some of the things you say about black men. You are willing to go along with Princella despite the black manosphere. The question is, if you're better, okay, fine. Let's say you are better than Princella. How much better? Uh-oh. You were so horny and lonely, you allowed for this clearly mentally gone woman, B. Taylor. I wasn't around Princella. You were. I could see from just a couple of videos she was gone mentally. How did Mr. Z see that and you didn't, being around her? Uh-oh. I was vulnerable, I was lonely, and I was celibate for a year. And huh? So you allowed for yourself to be so lonely and horny, celibate for a year. That means you wasn't doing that much dating. Remember, y'all, B. Taylor's a professional. Yikes. A journalist. Yikes. You allowed yourself to get played. I don't even know if I should actually give you that type of sympathy, but fine. To get played by clearly psychologically and mentally gone woman. Okay, fine. I said it when I covered Princella months and months and months ago. She's dirty macking. She's dirty macking. But black women are so desirous of black men ain't ish concept. concepts, Z, because you get the word out, and ideas and rhetoric that anybody that says black men ain't ish in any type of way, y'all with it. Like Detroit said, whether it's Vincent LeBeau, y'all exposed him. Guess what? Many of y'all still ride with him because y'all want to ride on him. Oops. To Princella, to Paris. Paris had a whole marriage from y'all. Princella over here wanting half the goddamn human population to go extinct. Vincent LeBeau was out here flirting and thirst trapping with other black women behind his wife's back, apparently. These people get exposed. It doesn't matter because y'all just want to hear the black men ain't ish rhetoric. It doesn't matter. Cynthia G literally talks about destroying the black community. Y'all rode with her. It had to be a white woman to get her out the paint. Huh? B. Taylor, you bought into, but I want to be very clear, B. Taylor, how you got here. You got here because you bought into black men ain't ish rhetoric so much that the same sex loving black woman that has mental issues, or at least psychological issues, you let her munch on you. Oh, wait a minute, and shout out to the Raj Report, because guess what? If B. Taylor is to be believed, there was no penetration, so no toys, but a whole lot of what they call it, tribbing, and not even so much that, but munching. And munching, she's essentially B. Taylor, and if she is to be believed, said they weren't even really engaging in adult play like that. If anything, she was being munched on, and even that didn't happen that often. So, like we said before, y'all are over there trying to run from black men. Fine. Y'all ain't even doing adult fun stuff, so y'all over there for security blankets. There is no escape hatch, black women. Y'all do the swirler thing, fail. Try to do the divester thing, fail. The political same-sex loving thing, fail. The temper tantrum, I'm gonna go try to have different experiences and open up my options, fail. Huh? Politically single, that drives y'all absolutely insane. If you think these women that have broken hearts are crazy, let them be single for too long and not having adult fun for too long. They really are off their rockers. We're watching it with Yanni more and more. Ah, Venom said Oyster Operations Inc. Yeah, I caught that when she said, yeah, she asked if, and I didn't know that it meant certain things in that community, and she asked if I wanted to go out for oysters, and yawn. She's over here talking about I'm sorry, B Taylor is speaking about Princella watching same sex loving prawn and touching on herself loud. Princella is who introduced her into what tribbing is. And Vince says she wasn't even a eater for real. She said that they weren't doing that much. That was the one thing they were doing, and they didn't even do that much. Huh? Exactly. And GC says Vincent LeBeau lusting after black men secretly. Not so secretly anymore. Z, why did you cover this? Mr. Z ain't even gonna lie to you. This is a big ass I told you so. Ain't no point in even being humble tonight. Huh. GC says, you believe her, Z? Because I don't. Eh. Look, when you guys see me say that, I leave open the possibility that they might not be lying. I go off of what they say to prove a point, even if you're not lying. Let's say there wasn't any penetration. It was just munching and tribbing and whatever the hell. Let's say you're right about that. Fine. What did it get you anyway? Okay. You got off on it sexually, and you ended up with a dirty abusive. I gotta say it like that on purpose because YouTube. P stay in bed having. Oh yeah, Mr. Z caught that too. Not taking care of their children properly, their child properly. As same-sex loving black women, dear B. Taylor, dear black women, where do you think you're going? You're going to make it work with black men or suffer the consequences. And here's the thing: black men are not even going to be the ones to make you suffer the consequences. Well, outside of freezing you out, of course. Huh? Thank you, Lithium. It's not even just the same-sex loving thing. Prince and Lithium says Princella is a whole ass degenerate. It's not even just the same-sex loving thing. It's a whole she is that. She's a bitter, angry ass woman. And if you don't have a mission of I just want to hear somebody talk crap about black men. That's all I just want to hear somebody talk. I just need to hear negativity about black men. I just need to hear black men ain't ish. I just need to hear stuff about expanding my options and this. I gotta do a whole stream about this self-actualizing or being self-actualized first and then being in a relationship. This is that crap Yanni's on. X that. I gotta do a whole different stream on that one. I gotta be perfect first and then meet a perfect person and then we can just go into a relationship and be perfect. Yawn. I know no one's literally saying perfect, but that's pretty much what they're saying. Uh-oh. And Mr. Shook to you says, I wonder which one of them were paying 100% of the bills. According to B. Taylor, financially, men have always taken care of her and done things for her. But when she was dating Princella, they were kind of going 50-50. She said she was paying for stuff and Princella was paying for stuff. The things y'all do to spite black men. What do you mean by that, Z? In other words, black women talk all this crap about I'm not gonna settle right? Who wants to be with average anyway? I'll be a kept woman of leisure. Why are black women always told to settle? White women aren't told to settle, are never told to settle, are not told to settle, right? Black women say white women aren't told to settle. Who wants to be with average anyway? Trying to scam and scheme all type of money out of men in general, black men specifically. And then you find out the real and they're dating white men and they're paying. Let me get this right. You left black men, you gave black men the middle finger to go subsidize a white dude? Wait, weren't you doing that on the plantation? Oops. And during Jim Crow, yikes. And you're still doing it. Oh, in America, come with America's history. The things black women do to spite black men. So y'all are engaging in same-sex loving relationships because you're insufferable for men in general, black men specifically. You're a whole asshole. So you can't make it work with black men. You give black men the middle finger. You go try to swirl and divest them. White boys pipe and send you on to your way. Send you on your way, better yet. Let's say that again, Z. You can't make it work with black men. You give black men your ass to kiss. You give black men the middle finger. You go try to make it work with white and Latino and Asian men. They give you hard D and bubble gum and take away the bubble gum. then you're left with either humbling yourself and trying to make it work with a black man. Now you got a kid or two, A.B. Taylor, or engaging in same-sex loving relationships, and you run bow right in smack dab into the wall of these same-sex loving relationships with black women, or even worse. Yikes. And meanwhile, Yanni's over here saying it's not about race, it's not about gender. Oh, yeah. Who was it earlier in the comments that said, Princella, I'm inevitable? No, black men are saying I'm inevitable. Maybe black men don't want to say it. Mr. Z is, though. I won't even put that on all black men or the black manosphere. Mr. Z is saying that, though. I understand many of the young brothers, young millennial Gen Z brothers, and it look like Alpha brothers are going to get them a non-black woman, date out, marry out, passport bros, SYSBM, or just, you know, be a free agent. I get it. But for black women, oh, it's not fair. Why do black men get to date out and marry out and we can't? Because you can't. Period. Uh oh. It's not fair. And the silence is on purpose, y'all. I'm going to be silent again. It's not fair. And so black men get to marry out and date out and we can't? Yes. Ooh, damn, Z, you said that. You said by the numbers. Oops. What you thought? Now, you can have adult fun with the white boys and the Latinos, clearly. You can have their mixed babies, but what about that wedding ring? Yikes. Huh? And Lithium says, because your personality sucks, y'all get favored in corporate America. That's not fair to black men. And guess what, Lithium? Not even really. That's why so many of them are starting businesses. See, the open kept secret is much of the reason why black women keep on bragging, oh, we're the fastest growing entrepreneurs and business owners, is because the white men and white women are running them through the ringer in those jobs in corporate America. And black women are either quitting or being fired, and they're forced to start their own business. That's the open kept secret part. Huh? That's the open kept secret part. White men and white women, the Latinas, the Asian women, are putting black women through it in corporate America. They choose whichever token they're going to choose, and all the other women, black women, get these people's ass to kiss after the white man done piped, of course. They put black women through it, and black women either go through this experience one or two times and then say, okay, I'm going to do my own thing, or they get fired, and then some magazine or newspaper, black women are the fastest growing entrepreneurs, trying to jab at black men. Meanwhile, the open kept secret is black women are being forced to start their own business and still failing at it, by the way. That's why Mr. Z says, because it's a fact, black men employ more people than black women. And y'all like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. Talking about super chats. Michael Ross, thank you for the super sticker. Thank you for the super sticker. Right? Huh. Princella just played y'all ass in your face. So B. Taylor talking crazy, reckless about black men in specific on the Lapeef network. And meanwhile, and if you look at her YouTube page, and it's all this feminine mystique and yawn. Huh. Meanwhile, you out here, same sex loving relationship or situationship in this case, or a mixture of a situationship relationship, whatever the hell you and Priscilla had going on, and this is the truth. Huh. And Dut says, don't B. Taylor have two black sons? I know she has at least one. Huh. You did all of that, bro. You listen to Princella and you didn't think something was wrong with her? Let's say it again. B. Taylor, you listened to Princella talk and you didn't see anything wrong with her? Wait. Because B. Taylor, you ain't gonna be the only one to get this. Yanni, you listen to Princella talk. See, apparently from B. Taylor, her family who met Princella was like, something's a little off on her. Yeah, but according to B. Taylor, she couldn't see it. Okay, fine. Because you were so horny and horny and lonely because you're giving black men the middle finger that the munch came through and made you come. Anyway, the munch came through and played your ass. Black women, when I said there's a cost to giving black men the middle finger, I meant it. Exhibit A. Huh. I want y'all to really think about this. We saw Princella for who she was as she really started to, apparently she was making moves on other social media platforms, but as she started to really make moves last year, especially on YouTube, we saw her for who she was. It didn't take much. And women, black women, said, "Oh yeah, I can get behind her. I can listen to her. She's exposing. She's telling the truth." And even still now, B. Taylor saying, "Well, she was saying real things." What real thing was coming out of a fake person's mouth? Huh? This woman does not. Say it again, Z, for one zillionth time. Not only do they not care about black men, clearly, or black boys, clearly, y'all are okay with that, fine. They don't even care about black women either. Let me use one of Paris Malone's lines. They hate black men more than they love black women. Huh? These are bitter. Listen, these people are fragile as hell. Mr. Z never understands. I get it. Fragile, aggressive people. Black women, right? Aggressive as hell, abrasive as hell, but fragile as hell. What? Take care of how you handle me. I need reassurance. be abrasive as hell, curse like a sailor, mean, condescending, but fragile. Insulting like a mug, but fragile. Want to get you told, but fragile. I'm about to get you together, but fragile. And Black Uru says, as someone who grew up in Chicago in the '70s, gotta give propers to Princella's pimp game, right? Right? We man, look, Princella did not fool me for 1 second. I could see that was one broken. I almost lost my religion there. That is one broken ass woman. That ain't the word I want to use. That is not the. Ooh, that's not the word I want to use. That is one broken ass woman. Hey, line says when scissoring goes wrong, you keep on messing with scissors, you bound to get cut. Ah, but right. And Afro National says, and thank you for the super sticker. Well, super chat. Tuition, right? And thank you for the super chat. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. Right? I made Black Uru laugh. That was off the dome, Black Uru. That was off the dome, right? But we covered this. Yes, Mr. Z, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. This is a big ass I told you so. But I don't think y'all doubted me anyway. This is really I told you so to the women, the 2 or 3 black female subscribers I have. But not only is it I told you so, this is like exhibit A. This is a prime example of what Z and by extension the black manosphere speaks on all the time. Black women, you don't got a choice. You are going to get on black men's program or keep on getting played by Vincent LeBeau and by Princella and by Paris Milan. Right? Huh. Oh, that's a good one. And Terrell says, don't run with scissors. Right? And over here talking about trimming. Oh, boy. Right? Man. So you're listening to this woman who doesn't seem to be the greatest mother, to say the least. Ooh, Z. Boy, that was some weak sauce I just gave, ain't it? Yeah, I really don't want to say what I think about this lady's mothering skill. If B. Taylor is correct, if B. Taylor is not exaggerating or straight up lying, if what she say is true, oh boy. Oh no, and Lion says, oh, I've been saying it. And Lion says, Z said, y'all black women be with black men today. Look, see, black women don't got a choice but to be on black men's program. This little temper tantrum thing they doing, wasting time. Right? It's pretty much black women and black girls watched white girls get little tea sets and whatever, and they're over here pouting in the corner, throwing a damn temper tantrum. Why does she get to have it, but I can't? And they've been doing that for 60 goddamn, since slavery, 60 goddamn years. Just throwing a temper tantrum, Tasmanian devil style. I'll destroy everything because I can't beat a rich white woman. Okay, fine then. And then y'all run into, what? Wait for it, Princella and Vincent LeBeau. White men that say I got a hard D and bubble gum and I'm all out of the bubble gum. And black women that even y'all said in the comments, I read those comments, that move worse than all of your negative stereotypes about black men. Well, will you look at that? I read y'all comments. She's worse than black men. Look, I can't do the Brandon Jamal laugh. He's better than me. And the evil laugh department, he's better than me. But I still gotta try. What y'all thought? Black women, where did you think you were going? Right? And Vegas says today's black women will never get on black men's program. They're a lost cause, then deal with the consequences. Right? I'm not even really disagreeing with you, Vegas. I'm not. Then they gotta deal with the consequences. Enjoy your Rose toy. That's it. There is nowhere else to go. Shout out to Black, not Black Guru, sorry, Black Guru. BGS. I got nowhere else to go because there is nowhere else to go. We done did the math for them already. Y'all can't be passport girlies. Not enough men around the world can afford you the lifestyle y'all talking about. What is it? The average income around the planet is like $9,000. Have fun with that. The average yearly income is like $9,000. So, on that one, non-black men, that's white men, Latino men, Asian men, indigenous, etc., are too anti-black. So that choice, the women, if y'all trying to do the same-sex loving relationship thing, that's white women, Asian women, Latina women, are even worse than the men on anti-blackness when it comes to women. So once again, same-sex loving relationships with other black women, well, DV anyone? So that one, black women, you got no other choice. Huh? Spademan, I ain't even gonna read that last comment. And you're right. Clearly, by the stories that we're hearing recently and pretty much since what? Slavery, oops. And Black Udo says, shout out to the late great Lou Gossett Jr. Mayonnaise. Where they think they're going? Right? Where they think they're going? Where do they think they're going? Y'all could throw the temper tantrum all you want. Princella gonna munch on you and treat you even worse than what you feel black men treat you like. This lady said if the world goes to hell, she will take her and her daughter out. That is the person y'all think is telling y'all some real stuff about men's proclivities and pathology. Black men in specific. You think the woman that said if the world goes to hell, she ain't gonna be here, she's gonna take her and her daughter out. The woman that is playing a Thanos style game with this. You think you're gonna listen to her and she's gonna tell you some real stuff about men's pathology and proclivities. Yeah, that's it. These people are angry at the world. They're jealous of white women. This is why I say it over and over. And I know my subby, shout out to y'all. I know y'all be getting tired of Z saying it, but I'm gonna keep on saying it. How often are you gonna say it, Z? Yes. Z, how many times are you gonna say it? Yes. Oh yeah, no, she said it. According to B. Taylor, that's what Princella said. We gotta do. I'm gonna do a part 2 to this. Right? Huh? And Detroit says, and thank you for the super chat. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. To be honest, I don't feel bad about it, not one bit. I get it. This is The problem with people like this is that they have the ears of all sorts of women, particularly obviously black women. What do I say? This is why the girl at the return line is giving you attitude. Yes, she was raised this way, obviously. But not only was she raised this way by a mom that thinks similar to B. Taylor, Yanni, and Princella, but now she's listening to a Princella overtly say it. Y'all realize B. Taylor's a professional. Bowser is a Harvard grad, right? Amanda Seales attended Columbia, right? All of these people are professionals. Ebony K. Williams, right? I mentioned Uchechi for those of you that used to watch the Grapevine. Uchechi went to one of those schools, Dartmouth or one of those, right? Black Uru says, better to serve in hell than to be better to reign in hell than serve in heaven. Satan. Yes, that's how they think, and so be it for them. For those of us who end up with a dope ass black woman, we take b- Black Uru. Exactly. You end up with a good black woman, you take her and you run and raise your kids away from this and the offspring of this. And that's a horrible thing to have to consider, considering the black community being in America, in America's history. Huh? And once again, Detroit, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. Huh? Because if you don't, then your two little girls are going to be raised next to who? Princella's daughter? They're going to be in classroom with who? Cynthia G's kid? Huh? Yeah, and better use is B. Taylor said she's a journalist, if I'm not mistaken. These are professionals, y'all. Chrissy is somewhere in marketing, right? Think about think about the people we speak on often, their backgrounds, the school. Oh, Mr. Z, don't forget to very crucial point. Let's say this. B. Taylor admits to using her connections to get Princella into certain circles to push her book. And you wonder why the policymakers sound the way they do. Uh-oh. Huh? You wonder why the policymakers sound the way they do, why they speak the way they do, why they push black women over black men. They were going to do it anyway. It's to sabotage black men, absolutely. But then to further flick dirt in black men's eye, the B. Taylors of the world use their connections to push Princella in these people's spaces. That's why you have, who was it that said you it wasn't one of the PhDs that say you will have a group of men speaking on issues, and then one of the random men, even white men, will say, yeah, what about the women? How's this going to help women? Because that person was recently in a room with goddamn Princella, the woman that said that she wrote her first book because she lost her job and she needed to get money quick. Uh-oh. For those of you that didn't hear Mr. Z say that earlier, yes, B. Taylor said it. I suggest y'all save that goddamn video. The link in my description, I didn't save it yet. I'm about to save it right after this. I know it's a long ass stream. Save it. Evidence. This is way bigger than Mr. Z, excuse me, just saying I told y'all so. If you listen to what B. Taylor exposed here, she exposed a woman profiting off of black women's misery, which we already say they do. Profiting off of black women's loneliness, horniness, sadness, misery. We already said they do. Exactly. She admits to using her connections and getting Princella into those spaces. Huh? Yeah. This is what happens with at least a good 5, 6 decades of black men ain't ish rhetoric. Is you get same sex loving black women hopping from one black woman to another black woman talking crap about black men, and you get their male counterparts, Themis, throwing salt in the game on the other side because clearly they're mad about what black men didn't choose them. Huh? Yeah. We called it a broken, bitter black woman. So B. Taylor was single and horny, lonely and horny. If she's to be believed, she had been celibate for a year, for just about a year, she says. Princella could smell your desperation, and she played you. You played yourself, and she further played you. Huh? And now you're telling the truth. You're telling how y'all did things just to spite black men. Thank you for admitting it because we already knew it, but it's good to have the confirmation. Y'all did things to spite the black manosphere in specific. Once again, we already knew that's how y'all moved over there, but thank you for admitting it. Huh? Thank you for admitting that Princella is sick in the head. We already knew it, but once again, it's good to have the confirmation. Huh? And that she is worse than black men, according to your own comment section. Your live comments, according to them. All you ladies that said that, once again, thanks for admitting it, but we already knew it, but it's good to have the confirmation. Huh. Exactly. And Demetrius says Princella even called herself a pimp. She admitted that she read all those damn pimp books. B. Taylor said it. This is why we cover these women when they gossip. We don't care about their goddamn gossip and beef. But you know what does come out of the gossip and beef? The truth. The truth. When they're angry at each other, when they're beefing at each other, they can't help it. They start exposing each other. This is the one time when they break ranks. Huh? And Lithium, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. And Lithium says tuition, and thank you. Right? Huh. Hey, and Lion says can't stay with the man or woman, so maybe you're the problem. Black women, your ideal of negative liberty. That's why I keep on harping on it. Let's go through it. Black men ain't ish. All right, fine. You go date out. Get piped. You go date out. You can't make it work with white men, Latino men, and Asian men ain't checking. Let's stop. Okay, fine. So it's men are the problem. Okay, fine. Then you end up dating other women, black women, because white and Latina women are definitely not checking. I ain't even gonna mention Asian women. It's not a thing. If Asian men are not a thing, Asian women are definitely not a thing. I'm almost certain you could probably count on one hand how many black women, Asian women relationships there are in America. So, as Lion said, and I agree, you can't make it work with black men. It's not working with non-black men, so that's white men, Latino men, Asian men. That's not a thing, but okay, fine. Indigenous men, also not a thing, but fine. You do the same sex loving thing with other black women, and y'all dumping in those houses, furniture moving in those houses, in those homes, or you admit to yourself that that's not a thing for you, and you're just perpetually single. Hey, Yanni, talking about your rose toy and such. Huh. And Lion says they're talking issue like they want to date bears. These days we should make them do it. Look, man, it's all about spiting men. It's all about saying, look, men, y'all are so horrible that we would rather be in the forest with the bear than with you. Then do it. It's because one of the women just straight up said it. If women would rather be in the forest with the bear than with men, then maybe that should make men think of essentially she was saying how horrible men are. Like, why would women want to be in the forest with the bear than be with in the forest with the man? That must mean y'all are that horrible. No, it means that y'all actually think we care or believe you. Women think moving and insulting men the way they feel like men insult them works. First of all, dear black women in specific, y'all have been excuse me, your rhetoric has been so toxic sludge, so insane for the past few decades. I don't really know if y'all could say anything to really, pun intended, get under excuse me, men's skin, black men's skin. I don't know if y'all could really say anything that would get under black men's skin, pun intended. Do y'all understand? Like, Cynthia G was running around here talking about deleting unborn black male babies. What can y'all possibly say any worse than that? So, oh, I would rather be in the forest with a bear over a man because men are this and a man will do this and a bear won't do that, and that's light work. That's easy, cakewalk, right? Huh? And Lion says, I would personally pay for a ticket to the zoo so they can ask the staff to sit next to a bear. Man, we watched a couple of times these videos of white folks in Africa when the animals get loose or when they're way too close to the animals. We watch people um either go into the wrong animal den or whatever, find themselves in the wrong cage with the wrong animal. And what happens at the zoo? These women know they don't actually mean it. More frighteningly are the women that actually mean it, but we know for the most part it's just them trying to spite men. And shout out to men in general, black men specifically, not really feeling anything for this. Because, dear women, do it. Right? Do it. And Saint Cyr says, their words don't hurt me all at all, Z. I sent you an example of that to your email of it happening to me. Okay. Right. Huh. And Kobe, let me read this one now. Thank you for the super chat. And Kobe says, I appreciate the work that you do on. I'm reading this way wrong. I appreciate the work you do with your channel. Keep up the good work, Z. Thank you, thank you. I try. This one was a. This was a bit sobering for me, right? And the sobering part was hearing B. Taylor say that Princella said if the world was to go to hell, she would take her and her daughter out. When B. Taylor asked Princella, essentially, there's women that listen to you. They believe, essentially, they believe in you. So this is B. Taylor low key saying what Z says. You're gonna lead them off the edge of a cliff. What are you gonna do with all of these single women who we're forwarding this message to, and they're not gonna have anyone. They're not gonna have anyone. It, as this economy goes to crap, or if something, if Armageddon happens, if there's another COVID, what are these women supposed to do? And if B. Taylor is to be believed, Princella said, "Oh, I'll take me and my daughter out." Right? So that's why it was sobering. This is who black women are listening to. This is who black women thought was their sage. Right? And this is my point exactly, Black Uru. And Black Uru says, if she's not going to crawl under some man, what good is she in an apocalypse? My point. This is funny. And Black Uru says, I like Princella. It's something about seeing a black woman run the carpet chomping pimp game on a bunch of dumb broads that make my nature rise. it it is weirdly, I don't want to say satisfying, because a part of me is like, wait a minute, y'all, wait, are y'all actually falling for this? Wait, black women, right? And let's be very clear, Princella's not doesn't have 500,000 subscribers type thing, but the fact that it's working on any black woman, like any, like even one, the fact that it worked on B. Taylor, the fact that she has tens of thousands of subscribers, the fact that there are black women that this resonates with, I can kind of see where Black Uru's coming from. But it's like, wait a minute, wait, is this working? Wait, y'all actually listening to her? Y'all are, they do their little sister girl snaps. Y'all sister girl snapping for her and clapping for her? Right? Insane. Absolutely insane. But apparently, and Lion says, lets you know how dumb they are. But is it dumb? If you want to hear a particular message, is it dumb that you want to hear that message and you don't care who it comes from? Black women have been primed to hear black men ain't ish rhetoric. They've been primed by racist white society. They've been primed by their moms and their aunts and their grandmothers. They've been primed by these weirdo brothers. They've been primed by LGBTQ brothers and sisters. They've been primed by our society. If they further want to hear that message over and over again, are they dumb? Now, is it a sign of intelligence to want to hear that message and then have to deal with the consequences of wanting to hear that message over and over again? And looking at your surroundings and realizing that message ain't good for you? Forwarding that message is not good for you? Wanting to hear that message isn't good for you? That's dumb. But wanting to hear the message, right? Saint Cyr, exactly. And Saint Cyr says the demographic that are quote unquote wait, let me read that again. The demographic that are more quote unquote emotionally intelligent and quote unquote educated are getting worked over by Princella. You see me? Exactly. Exactly. Right? Because they want to hear black men ain't ish rhetoric. And they want to believe that there is some type of escape hatch out of being on black men's program. And there is no escape hatch out of being on black men's program. Period. You can throw your temper tantrum all you want. There is no other way. And maybe if you starve and your daughters watch you starving, maybe that's the best thing that we can do to get the next generation of black girls on black men's program. Right? Maybe that's what needs to happen. Maybe we need to watch the outcome of all these supposed rich aunties. Huh? Maybe that's what needs to happen. A bunch of rich aunties will see. Huh? Maybe we need to see the outcome of all these supposed same sex loving relationships that black women are engaging in because they don't want to limit themselves to men, particularly black men. Wait a minute, we're already seeing the outcome of that. Uh-oh. A bunch of DV. Huh? Maybe we need to see the outcome of all of these divestors and swirlers and their foremothers who tried to do the same thing but just didn't call it that. Huh? Maybe we need to see the outcome of that so black women could get their mind right. Maybe we need another decade. It ain't even going to take that long of that so that we can actually see what happens. Where does this go? I can tell you where it goes. Off the edge of the cliff. Ain't that right, B. Taylor? Imagine a woman getting barked on by another woman, right? For some music or a seatbelt chime. And you got to sit there and act like y'all straight when you record because you're trying so hard to say anything is better than black men. Huh? Anything is better than black men, so you got to put on a fake ass smile after you just got ripped apart by another woman that you're in a relationship situationship with. And to keep up appearances, you got to put on a smile. Ah, the horror. Huh? So when Mr. Z says black women don't have a choice, I know what I'm saying and I mean it. Right? Venom cases. Being raised to be stupid still means you're stupid. I hear you. I hear you. Yes, I remember this. And Mr. Shik to you says Z at the 108 1 hour and 8 minute mark of the video in your description is when B Taylor describes Princella pleasuring herself next to her while watching adult prawn um and turning down B Taylor advances. Right? It's all a mind game. Plus, Princella's gone. That lady's gone for real. Right? Exactly. And Black Guru says, Princella, I don't even want to use the BBC strap on your ass. That lady's gone. She's gone. And once again, Kobe, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. Right? Huh. And she admits that she was munching, but they didn't even do that much. Come on. So you just over there for what, the emotional blanket? And to try to keep up appearances about how you don't need black men? Or how black men ain't ish? Or how black women have other options and choices? You don't. See, a smart group of people, you know what they would do? They would see those drafts, those NFL drafts, the NBA draft. Y'all would see that and say, what do we have to do to get our men back? I said our men back. Yeah, I did use the word R. OURR. That's what a smart group of people would do. Y'all want to talk about dumb? All right, Mr. Zero, go talk about dumb. A smart group of people would be like, God damn, we're losing them and we don't got other choices and options. To hell with our ego. Huh? That's what a smart group of people would do. A not so smart group of people would say, you know what? We're going to double and triple and quadruple down on the BS, especially on the internet. Huh? We are going to triple and quadruple and quintuple down on the BS. We are going to use the most insane rhetoric humanly possible when it comes to black boys and black men, even to the point where we will support women, black women that speak about deleting unborn black babies, boys. We will support and back black women who encourage their girlfriend who has a son to treat her son poorly. And B. Taylor didn't use those exact words, at least not in the first half of the stream that I watched, but that was the message. Huh. And Black Uru says, Princella probably got a whole dude laughing his ass off at her at her mess, and she probably spending whatever money she scamming off those dimwits. Here's the kicker. According to B. Taylor, on paper officially, wait for it, Black Uru, wait for it. Princella's still married to a man. Y'all heard right? Y'all heard right. Princella's still married to her husband, at least on paper. Yep. At least on paper, she's still married. Now they might be separated and she's doing her own thing, but she's still married. Huh? These people are the worst actors. They're bad faith actors. They're bad actors, everyone. They're bad actors. Black women, who the hell are y'all listening to? B. Taylor, who was so lonely and horny she got seduced by a same-sex loving woman who's off her rocker, or the same-sex loving woman who's off her rocker, or the single woman who watched her friend get seduced by the same-sex loving woman who's off her rocker. Mr. Z is talking about B. Taylor, Princella, and Yanni, everyone. Who the hell are y'all listening to, black women? The woman who flew clear across the country to have sex with a man who had multiple kids from multiple women already and then had a kid and continued with her black men ain't ish rhetoric. That's who y'all listening to? That's Cynthia G. Y'all listening to the woman who made a cottage industry out of speaking about colorism and black men's colorism? Meanwhile, she's having a sober moment speaking about being in her luxury apartment by her goddamn self because the swirling answer to black men's colorism doesn't seem to be panning out for her in her own personal life. That's Chrissy. Y'all following the woman who lied and hid a whole goddamn marriage from y'all? From a black man? While she says, Kentanji chose better, Eve chose better, Serena chose better. That's Paris Milan. Huh? These are the people y'all following? The woman who told you how great being married to a non-black man is, and then she got divorced from the non-black man? Crystal and Kerosene? Huh? That's who y'all listening to? These are the women that are your internet gurus, your social media gurus? Get 'em Keating, whatever her goddamn name is, with her weird ass story with this dude who she's with, and when people trolled her, including black men, she called black men bullet bags. These are your internet gurus? Huh? I put money you're right, Black Uru. I'm willing to put money on it that you're right. And Black Uru says, don't surprise me at all. Princella is still married. And he still probably smashes every now and then just to balance out her nonsense. I put money you're right that he smashes every once in a while. I know you're right. I don't doubt it at all. Because one of the most open kept secrets in the same sex loving community is not that the femmes are smashing dudes on the low, but that the butch ones are. Uh-oh. Huh? That part. Because all of it is temper tantrum energy from black women. That's why. Everything that black women are engaging in, first of all, y'all know Mr. Z's going to say negative liberty, because of course I am. And temper tantrum energy, because of course I am. And indigo flow says, because it is true, and I got to say it how I got to say it, you know. Shout out to Dr. Thunder, Dr. Thunder, cover your Christian ears, right? And Indigo says, sneak dicking. Imagine living on planet Earth, a place where we all exist because a man and a woman got together. And we over here talking about sneak dicking. Imagine living on a planet in a time where you got to sneak, and you're a heterosexual woman. Sorry, not heterosexual, Mr. Z, you said that wrong. You're a same-sex loving woman. You're a woman, though. You are a biological woman. And you got to sneak some peen. We live on a planet in an era where a woman, because she's been talking crazy about men and how horrible men are, and now she's engaging in same-sex loving relationships, she got a sneak peen. What type of world? What type of world are we in where you got a sneak peen as a woman? A woman sneaking peen. What? You take the what and leave the what? What world are we living in where women are sneaking peen? The same world where if you're not talking crazy about men, then you're called a pick me and a mammy. That world. That's the world. Dr. Thunder says Lily Lit Liquor. Apparently though, um Princella wasn't they were engaging in that, but not too much, right? And KW Dog says, I need the check, Nate. Man, man. This is insane, everyone. This is insane. I covered this, yes, to get my 5 chuckles in and to say I told y'all so. Not y'all, my subscribers. We already knew, right? But for the ladies, but to also bring us the sobering part of this lady is willing to take her and her daughter out if there is to be, any type of unsettling thing going on in America. She said it to B. Taylor straight out. If she's willing to do that to herself and her daughter, what is she doing to y'all now, dear black women? What is she willing to do to you now? And it may not be physical, psychological. What is she willing to do to you now? How about sell you on how men are horrible, black men specifically, so that you can engage in same-sex loving relationships, right? Combahee River Collective, anyone? Goddamn Z. Political lesbianism, anyone? Goddamn Z. Right? Horrible. What type of insanity? This is way bigger than Z saying I told you so. Quite frankly, this is way bigger than just B. Taylor and Princella. This is way bigger than that. This story is way bigger than that. This is about their motivations, why they do and say the things they do and say. It is to spite black men, as B. Taylor said, to spite the black manosphere. She might have said just manosphere, but we know they talking about the black manosphere. Huh? It is who are the characters that you ladies are listening to and championing. Huh? It is to say what exactly is their message. Okay, leave black men alone and end up with who? Chrissy, keep up to expand your options. Expand your options. And for excuse me, not B Taylor, for Princella herself, it's leave men alone. Period. Princella had the unmitigated gall to try to vindicate white women, right? Huh. She tried to get black women to not see white women as the evil doers that they are. Oops. Huh? Essentially to infantilize white women. Huh. So blame white men for white supremacy, anti-blackness, and what black women are going through, but not white women? Yeah. This is insane, everyone. We cover this to show these are the characters, dear black women. The internet is only this is why I said the internet will expose us all. All we're seeing is what was going down in the background in the 1970s and in the 1980s and the 1990s and the late 1960s and the early 2000s. All the internet is showing us is a rehashing of that and a new generation of it. All it did was let things bubble up to the surface, and these characters, because they want their little 5 minutes of fame, are exposing themselves and exposing others. They're letting you know what they're actually about in the background. That's why when Mr. Z hears, oh, they beefing, okay, I'm there. Not because I care about the damn cat fight. I don't care about the damn cat fight. It's what they're telling you about each other, especially when they're not lying. Oh boy. You hear me, Vic? And Vic say exactly. And Victor Creed says white women are the literal producers of white men. But let Princella say it. They're not that bad. Okay, yeah, that's it. And if you remember correctly, um, when um when the ladies from the breakdown they bought up white women, and Princella pretty much tried to infantilize them, and yeah, it's not really them. It's all men, right? Huh, man. And Black Uru says smashing a smashing a chick who pretends to be a dude who smashes chicks. That sentence alone, I'm what world? Okay, yeah, and 100% correct. By the way, you dudes out there having these studs pull their overall straps and their Hanes briefs to the side. You know what's crazy? Because and she said she was kind of turned on by being introduced to tribbing by Princella. And there was a at least one comment that I read that said, "You'll leave the eggplant alone if you ever trip." So apparently, that person might have engaged in that woman. Yeah. Where does B Taylor go now? Shout out to any one of you men that takes B Taylor seriously now. Two children from two different men and has engaged in same sex loving relationships. At least one. Where the hell does B Taylor go now? I know one of y'all brothers gonna pick her up. I know you are. She's not exactly ugly, and she's a professional. I know one of you. I know you are. I know you are. Ain't gonna be no white dude for with the damn. And y'all give Z 1 second. Y'all talk amongst yourselves. Y'all talk amongst yourselves. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. Absolute insanity, everyone. Absolute insanity. And we're back. My apologies, y'all. My apologies. But yeah, no. We're in this world where they're sneaking peeing. I thought about that when I said, I'm like, no, for real though, right? No, for real. And let's read this. And Detroit says, let's read this super chat. And thank you for the super chat. Princella be sounding like Norman Bates from Live in Color mixed with Cat Williams. I wonder if she. I think there's more to expose about her, probably. Um, so maybe she isn't engaging with her ex-husband for these people to see. Um, but I don't think a woman like this, and this goes back to why I keep on saying negative liberty. I don't think a woman like this cares about rules or regulation. That's one of her issues, right? Um, and even with B. Taylor, I don't know too many women that really are like heterosexual that can ever be horny or lonely enough to engage in same-sex loving situation, right? Like either you about that for real or you're not. If you kind of on the fence, then heh, right? So I wonder if a lot of this is a character that she's playing. Huh. But no, this is just to me, she's just an angry, bitter woman. Um, as B. Taylor said, she wrote her book originally because she lost her job and it was for money, right? And here we are. Well, Mr. Z is speaking on this woman who has lost it, um, and who's playing on the insecurities, the fears, the horniness, the loneliness of single black women, and maybe even some black women, definitely some black women in relationships, right? Huh. So yeah, no, I definitely think what Princella does is help to expose a part of black women that often goes unspoken about, right? Which is them engaging in same-sex loving situations, not because of a dearth of good black men, viable black men, but because they don't want to follow no goddamn rules and regulations on nothing. That's why many of them that are over there still come back over here, right? Because it really is, I don't, rules, standards, they talk all this standard talk. They don't really mean it. Regulations, things I can't do. Who you telling what they can't do? You're talking about a group of people that said middle finger to Christianity, fine, okay. There's an argument to be made about black people in Christianity and just establish religion in general. Okay, fine, cool. All right, all right, all right. And then they start engaging in different African spirituality practices, witchcraft, all this other stuff. And then even with the rules and regulations over there, they want to break them. God damn. Right? Right? So even with that, you're just talking about a group of people that just don't want to follow no rules, no regulations, no anything. They just want to do what they want to do, how they want to do it, whenever they want to do it, to whoever they want to do it to, or whatever they want to do it to. And there's a cost to that. And getting played by the same-sex loving butch woman is one of those costs, B. Taylor. Right? And if she's right and she was celibate for a year, and that kind of made her vulnerable to Princella. Well, right? And let me read this now. And Vic says, we live in a world of cognitive dissonance, right? Imagine that. How horrible, you speaking about how horrible black men are, and then you get played by black women imitating the worst of black men. Huh. You get played by a black woman portraying and imitating the worst of black men. Mr. Z, why are you even saying the worst of black men? Women like B. Taylor should be pimped. God damn. Ooh, you said that. Ooh, you said that. You said that. Huh. And the fact that B. Taylor said she was afraid to leave and she was waiting for Princella to break up with her because she watched Princella destroy other people. So you mean the fear caused you to follow some instruction? Is Mr. Z the only one that heard that? So you say the fear is what caused you to follow some instruction. So you're saying you were letting Princella, and you said it, you were letting Princella slide and pass with things you wouldn't let a man do. Huh. By the way, B. Taylor, if you ever come up on this, you won't. And if you got this far, you won't. I'm only saying what you said in different words. It can sound offensive. I'm only reiterating. I'm just using more direct words. I'm not using that fluff crap y'all do over there. When speaking on other women, by the way, on women, y'all don't use fluff when it comes to men, right? Huh? Right? Yeah. God damn it! I could have went the other way. My bad, y'all. About to do this long ass trip, and I'm because these people were in the way, and then yeah. Anyway, so once again, we covered this tonight. Not only for Mr. Z to get his 5 chuckles in and say "I told you so," but to show these bad faith actors, these characters, what they're really about in private, in secret, what's really going on behind the scenes, what they're saying and doing behind the scenes. Don't let it be lost on you that B. Taylor said she connected, or she at least introduced Princella to movers and shakers because of her career, journalism. Yeah, and Princella was essentially pimping her book to these people. Yeah, don't let it be lost on you that she said that, because she said that, right? And yes, that is very frightening. The same-sex loving woman who has a major issue with black men is being pushed to important spaces, or pushed in important spaces, to probably white folks. Huh. And you wonder why the policies are the way they are. Yikes. And why, even with a 60-40 split in college enrollment, women to men, we're still talking about doing for women. Yeah. Right? I don't trust it, yo. Z does not trust it. So once again, this is just B. Taylor's side of the story, right? And she just went on, and yeah. So I'm gonna listen to the second half. I do think it deserved this long ass critique from me. Um, What else can I say? I don't really think there's much else to say here except we already knew it. I told y'all so. Dear women, what you thought? Dear black women, what you thought? Right? Princella is who we always thought she was. She is who we thought she was. They are who we thought they were. We were right. And to B Taylor and to all the black women, including Yanni, there is no escaping unless you want to be like Yanni and just be perpetually single, right? Talking all this weirdo stuff because you got to find a way to be okay with it. Oh, even worse, when you're financially good, that makes it even worse, right? Huh. This is horrible. Oh, and thank you, Dr. Thunder, for your comment earlier. I cannot highlight it right now because we're on the expressway unless I want to die and not look at the road. But yeah, yeah. Huh. And I cover these things, as I said before, because I actually do give a damn about the black community and I don't want to see the world go to hell in a handbasket. That would include the black community. That would include black women, as much as they're trying to drag the black community into hell because they mad they're not white women. Right? Huh. So I cover these things because these are the people. These are the people and the children of the people, the children of the black women who told us extra black women were not dealing with none of that stuff that the boomer black women were dealing with from black men. And well, here we are. These are the daughters. These are their Xer and millennial daughters and granddaughters. And yeah. Princella, everyone. Right? Princella. Where the hell B. Taylor thought she was going? You listened to Princella and you didn't see her for who she is? Because you were that horny and that lonely? I was vulnerable and I don't want to sound like a victim, but because you really want to say she took advantage of me. You really want to say she took advantage of me. But you were here to take advantage of. She could tell you're a behavioral problem. Because you got two kids from two different dudes. And her just flirting with you a little bit, you just let her keep on pushing the envelope. She could read you. You were the one who couldn't read her. Damn, Z, you said that. I said it. She could read you. See, you think she just saw you as vulnerable and she took advantage of you. No, she saw you as the behavioral problem that you are. And she took advantage of the situation. She saw you as the behavioral problem that you are, and she took advantage of the situation because it was there to take advantage of. What you thought? This is why dudes will smash and not do anything else with you, ladies. Wow. The question is to women, black women, when is it you? When is it you? You fail with black men, you fail with the white peen chase, and then you fail with other women, huh? And Vic says, and thank you for the other super chat. Vic says, ask many black women if they ever had a girl eat them out, kissed one, touched them sexually, and you'd be surprised how many say yes once, lol, or try being poly. Man, but all that speaks to Z. Are you gonna say it again? Yes. Negative liberty. No rules. No restraints. No coercion. No anything. And they obviously, black women see anything that's not them doing exactly what they want to do as coercion. No restraint. No constraints. Right? That's why they out here freestyling, doing whatever the hell they want to do, which there's nothing wrong with. But there are consequences to. There's consequences to that. Go ahead and eat these consequences. B Taylor talking about how much money men spent on her, and yeah, that ring though, huh? Insane. It truly is insane. I'm not just saying that just to say it. It truly is insane. We are talking about black women in America. How far removed are you from black history for you to come out your mouth, Yanni, and say this is not about race, this is not about gender? What? Right? This is not about race and this is not about gender. And yet you're engaging in these different situations with women to see if you could handle being in a situation with a woman so that you could truly give black men the middle finger. As B. Taylor, you said you and Princella were doing things to get back at black men, to spite black men, to spite the black manosphere. You said that. How did it work? Uh oh. How did it work? I'll add to what you're saying, Vic, and say, ask how single black women, ask single black women with kids how many of them engaged in same-sex loving situation. See how many of them actually did. See how many of them actually have. They're single now because all of the escape hatches failed. Coming right back to my title. All of the escape hatches failed. Instead of being in a relationship, married to a productive black man who runs his situation, I said run it. They try with the brothers that don't have the resources, don't have the wherewithal to be the head of their situation. That's escape hatch number one. Then they try with the white, Latino, and Asian dudes. That doesn't work. That's escape hatch number two. They try being single for a while. That fails because they can't do it. Ain't that right, B. Taylor? Escape hatch number three. They try same sex loving relationship situations. That fails. Escape hatch number four. Black men are nothing, black women. For the masses of you, black men are nothing. There is no other way. Shout out to all of that quote unquote expanding your options. Yeah, that's it. Huh? K Michelle's still out here talking about dating out, dating out. Is she married yet? How long ago was that situation with her and Ryan Lochte? Uh-oh. I don't see her with a ring yet from any one of these white dudes she's supposedly trying to end up with. Didn't she do her country music thing? Where's the wedding ring, K Michelle? Eve dated how many white men before she ended up with this white man that she finally had a kid from? Huh? Rihanna tried to expose Ashton Kutcher and her were messing around. And he goddamn practically slammed the door in her face. There is no escape hatch. There is no escape hatch, black women. It don't matter how you dress, how you speak, how you present yourself. It doesn't matter. You are a black woman in America, and white and Latino and Asian men said they will freeze you out. And there is a way to change this, but guess what? You got to team up with black men, and that means getting on black men's program, and you refuse to do that, so languish on the bottom. Mr. Z's not just telling you to languish on the bottom. According to the American Enterprise Institute, single Latina and single black women have the least amount of wealth in America. So the Black Enterprise Institute is telling you languish on the bottom. It's not a threat. Huh. Anyway, get on black men's program or suffer the consequences. There ain't no escape hatches. That's what Mr. Z is saying. Right? Mr. Z, that's some SBE in you doing, and right? And GC says K Michelle is like 50, isn't she? She's somewhere in the late 40s or something like that, maybe 50, something like that. Mid late 40s, 50, something around there, right? Calvin said B Taylor is the side chick to a side chick. Uh Namer says, could it be that Princella is a narcissist? I think that's confirmed. Demetrius says, they are who we thought they were, confirmed. Bruh. What's going on, Art? Man. Dreddy Bean says, that live was wild. Bro, I only got halfway through it so far. I only got halfway through it so far, and you hear this craziness? Princella apparently is a horrible mother. Her apartment is a pig pen. She's super aggressive. She wants to be Thanos, right? And this is who black women see as, you know, giving them the truth about black men pathology. Cynthia G and Princella, y'all are insane. Y'all are clinically insane. Y'all listen to these people. They're doing right by you. Yeah, that's it. Right? That's it. Huh. Right? And y'all give Z 1 second, y'all talk amongst yourselves. But yeah, y'all. So no, I just want to come to y'all with this today. I did not exactly expect to stream this late, but yeah. And Ed says, these bees stay snitching. What happened? This is anti Kevin. Um, no, I'm covering B Taylor pretty much exposing Princella for being a horrible mother, um, pretty much preying on black women's insecurities. We already knew this. Um, wanting to be Thanos, saying that if worst came to worst, she would just take her and her daughter out. I meant it the way you think. Um, yeah, and generally, when black women can't fight, that's when the truth comes out. So yeah, that's what I'm covering. I'm covering this because these are the characters that black women follow on these internets. Shout out to George W. Bush, right? Exactly. So everything we already said, exactly, right? The link is in the description if you want to look at it or cover it yourself, Ed. But yeah, you pretty much get the gist of it within the first hour or so, I would argue. But I still have another half of it to go. So yeah, but you get the gist of it within the first hour or so. And I'm covering it to say, is this your queen, black women? I mean, she calls herself the queen maker, right? So yeah, and B Taylor, who was supposedly a heterosexual woman right up until this, pretty much was seduced by Princella of all people. And yeah, and Ed says, I love myself too much to torture my ears. That's funny. Right? Yeah, I've been seeing y'all put this. I've been meaning to read it, but I don't know why I didn't. And GC says DL Taylor was always curious, apparently, and she said she was kind of turned on by seeing the video of tribbing, right? Yeah. And Lord Lovesmith says category female lack of accountability when their carpet. When they're munching, we'll say relationships go awry. They will always find a way to blame black men. Alex, I'll take B Taylor for 500, please. Hysterical, man. Apparently, and I kind of believe her. She said she was B Taylor said she was celibate for a year, right? So if she was celibate for a year, broke up with the ex baby daddy that they were supposed to be getting married and whatnot, it didn't work out. She was celibate for a year, working, streaming, doing whatever the hell she's doing. So she says essentially Princella found her in a quote unquote vulnerable state. Yeah, good point. And Namer says, "What did I say about women's consumption of adult entertainment? Z, um, they will focus on the women. Yeah, yeah, man. So on that note, y'all, let Mr. Z pause right here for real. So we will pause right here. Love piece of chicken grease. Black women ain't no escape hatches. Exhibit A. I'll rest my case, Your Honor. I'll rest my case. There is no escape hatches, black women. There are no escape hatches, black women. There ain't no escape hatches, black women. Oh man, there are no escape hatches. Y'all gonna get on black men's program, because all this other stuff y'all doing clearly is failing in spectacular fashion. In spectacular fashion. And by the way, Ed, I didn't highlight it, but I agree with that last comment you put. Yep, yep, exactly. And so on that note, y'all, we'll pause right here. Truly love, peace, and chicken grease. Y'all have a great, great, great rest of y'all night. Mr. Z out. All right, y'all. Mr. Z out. Ain't no escape hatches. All right.